We are operating on a frequency of 52 megacycles by authority of the Federal Communications Commission. A test program follows. To you who are trained technically, I need hardly say that there's still a number of problems to solve. I guess you know them as well as anybody knows them. But I think we've proceeded far enough to justify the statement, at least, that these technical problems are not insurmountable.
No, I mean, they've not had a great event up till this point. I mean, so it's interesting to see how it's got to. Right, let's just get everything back together. See, there we go. So, I mean, why whenever I do this does your video change? Second.
Because it hates.
There we go. No, I think it hates you is the issue. So it's a great catch. I hope Lorenzo enjoyed our commentary there. But let's get on to why the one of you watching still is still watching, and let's get through the pairing. So I'm going to just... Why don't you put on to into Discord that we're about to do the cut pairing to see if we get any more people jumping in.
Yeah, it can do.
And we're going to start with cut 4 and work our way up. Just to put some anticipation in place. Now, it's perfectly possible that I've got some teams in here who have already dropped and I've missed that they've been dropped. So, and I don't know if my team's dropped or not, so it's in here at the moment. So I should probably share the screen so you guys can see. So, is that legible, Brett?
1 second. My stream is still catching up, but I'll type it up.
No problem at all.
No, yes to me, but with squinting, so you might want to zoom in a little bit more.
Okay, 1 second. Let's quickly save something that I got wrong. Okay, so... Okay, that's probably a bit much. So here we go.
That's way too much. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. So this is
more like a top 8 than...
Well, I'll go as far as say this is bottom 7.
Yeah.
So this is bottom 7. I am there myself. Just full disclosure. So these are the guys for 4th cut. Now, I don't know if everyone here still wants to continue. We are making the assumption that they are, because we haven't heard these guys are going to drop. But we only have 7 teams left at the end here. We couldn't quite squeeze them into the 3rd cut. I looked at it, but couldn't quite make it work. So we have Colorado Gruins versus Coast to Coast. Then Cross Channel Titan Mechanics versus Klitschko. So that is UK versus Ukraine. And then we have Steel City Snufflegators versus Sensualist. And then Hamburg Atlanteans 3 got the luck of the dice and go straight through into the top 8. Lucky people. Top 4, sorry. Yeah. Top 4. So, now let's...
and you're still trying to figure out what kind of prize support we're going to give that group, because we didn't expect there to be 4 cuts.
Yep, and we'll sort that out. So this is the exciting cut 3, and we've got 5 gaps in here, and only 7 teams in cut 4. Oh, so we couldn't fit it all in.
I'm really happy for the buy. The buy never really gets that far, but to see them in the top 8 of the
twice,
of the
not once,
cut.
Twice. Yeah. So essentially, we got two buys a drop and 2 more buys. Now the difference between a buy and a drop here is depending on what I felt like typing at the time I was dealing with it.
Didn't the Kippy Time Hogs drop?
They weren't on any list I found, but I'm happy to be told they will, and then they will drop. So the prize for the 3rd cut, as we said before, will be...
Yeah, it was October 24th. It wasn't the list I gave you, the Kippy Time Hogs. They dropped. Okay, so Zion Cruz, congratulations on making top 8. So the prizes for cut 3 is going to be some AOA decks. I hadn't quite worked out exactly how I was going to split them, because I forgot what I said before. But there'll be at least 3 AOA decks to the winners of cut 3. So Salty and Boots will be playing off Welsh. That's UK versus US. Then we have the Welsh Infectsmen from the US versus KFTP Aubergines. Last Minutes of Midnight versus Not Much to Protect. Another UK US battle. Then we drop down to the
Drop versus KFPT Generosity. So KFPT Generosity will auto qualify for that one. I need to work out why that's not done it. And Zion's crew will beat Kippy Timeholders this week. And follow we have Flotsam and JL's Chosen.
Who then go into a bye, so whoever wins that goes directly to the top 4.
Yep. So we're now going to go to the second cut before we get to the top cut.
The sloppy Labwood cut.
Who unfortunately couldn't even play in this event.
Yeah, that's a real shame. But,
yeah.
You know, pandemic be damned.
Yep. So we have 4 drops in this cut. I need to work out why some people moved on and some haven't. I know why. I just need to. We handle it with drops in the second team. Right, yeah, we can fix that.
Keyfrogs versus Hamburg Atlanteans 2 is going to be a very good match. It's a shame to see the Keyfrogs lost. They had a hell of a run. They went undefeated and then they've lost the last 2 weeks in a row. It's a real shame. In the back of my mind, I was kind of hoping that these guys would take this event because they've been great throughout the last few events they've been in.
Oh, completely. I mean, they've been brilliant. I mean, there's not another word for it. They've been absolutely brilliant. Okay, so what we have here then is we have 8 Groat versus Pakabucha, and the winner of that next week will be playing Key Forgery. Miserable Nonsense won't and can't touch this. Both have a drop this week, and they will be competing as a buy. And for those that wonder why we have 3 drops on the same side, this is because this is a slot that was allocated to a team that's lost in the playoff, and as the slot was already allocated, it becomes a drop rather than rebalancing it.
Yeah, essentially rather than rebalance it, so everybody had a game today. Every team already had a slot, and then people dropped after the qualifiers, so they're basically where they should have been.
Yeah. The Broken Token is playing Miserable Nonsense. Consa Lima versus Doom the Wandering Forgers. And then Key Frogs versus Hamburg Lanterns 2. And that would be a great one to see with Rip getting the drop through this week.
Yeah.
And now...
Rip,
go ahead.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one for Rip. I mean, they've had a hell of an event getting through here. But this is where we're happy that that the top 3 cuts have got prizes.
Yeah, completely. Possibly top 4. And I think I've just pushed a change out to the site, unfortunately, which means we might have to delay it a second. Give it now. Did I just break everything in the last change I put up? 1 second.
Awesome. Yes.
It looks that looks fundamentally possible. Or have I just misspelt the number 1? Oh yeah, I deleted too many characters. There we go. Doing it too quickly as ever. So as you can see, the cuts are now live. So if you want to come here and look, just go to the KOTE site. Day 2, here are the 4 cuts. So here we have Tubular Time Hogs versus KFDT Empyreum in the top cut for top 16. America versus Portugal. Miguel's Mavericks versus New York City. I'm sure Miguel's Mavericks were Spanish, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think your flags might have messed up a bit then.
I don't think so. Let's see what the actual team says. No, it says it's from the US, and they were in the Logos group, which is a US group. So yeah, they are.
Who knows?
Maybe, obviously, they're not Spanish.
the Lickall game seems really interesting. Lickall versus Madrid Archons.
Very much
Madrid
so.
Archons did very well in their group.
Well, all these are the top of the group and came second or third in another. So.
Ooh. Lance taking on Jay Atkins is going to be a very good game.
But so's not finished with your Mamoop and ABR Bullet Bills.
Yeah. Cloggins and the Hamburg Atlanteans 1, that's going to be a very tough game. That's going to be very interesting to see the outcome of.
I'm just going to quickly check something. Just I thought I misread that. Yep, no, I just checked. For some reason, my notes in my head were saying New York City lost. But they didn't. They won. So it's good to see my team I've been supporting since they first joined in all the way back in KOTE 5.
Well, they got to the final last round.
Exactly. Yeah. So they've got my support all the way through again. But I mean, if you look at any one of these pairings, you just go, Jesus.
There's not a single one of these pairings that I wouldn't be happy to sit in and watch. They're all very good teams. Team Coxine always bring very interesting decks. Hamburg Atlanteans are a staple of the community. Cloggins Reckless Pirates have been having some health troubles and a bit of discard issues. Not quite sure what's been going on there. Hopefully it's going to get sorted out for the Hamburg Atlanteans.
But also, from the top 16, we have 9 different countries.
Yeah, this is one of the great things about KOTE, and it's one of the great things about establishing the time zone
Groups.
Is we get a very diverse Top Cut.
I mean, Indonesia, Malaysia, China or Hong Kong, Brazil, Germany, France, a couple of them Italy, Portugal, and of course the US. And of course, as we're all lacking, there is no UK team here this time, but we'll just ignore that fact.
No, that's fine. I mean, we don't. The UK representation has been on the decline for the last couple of events.
Mm-hmm.
It was great to see a lot more of them back, but a lot of UK players have kind of moved on to other games, so it was inevitable that we would see a downturn in how they did in the event. Whereas we've seen like the Italian teams do really well here, and the Italian community has had a surge of events recently. So hopefully, as we get more IRL events coming back, we'll see an upturn in the community sort of revitalising.
So, which game are you thinking of recording this week? Oh no, we're not going to record a game this week because we're at Comic-Con.
Exactly. So, basically Friday. The games always happen at the weekend, and basically Friday I've got to get all my Comic-Con stuff ready. Saturday me and the missus leave like 6 o'clock in the morning for the train, and then Sunday we don't get back till like 10 o'clock at night.
So it's unlikely to be and it's a working weekend. It's not like just for fun. That's the important thing to point out here as well.
Well, it's fun for me, but I've also got to act kind of like security.
It's It's a working weekend, man. Yeah, you'll get to enjoy it, but you don't have a right choice of what you're doing. You've got to look after the missus.
Oh yeah, exactly. But yeah. I mean, as much as this is a working weekend, next weekend for her is a proper working weekend.
Why? Which one's that one?
That's Dutch Comic Con, the one that they're flying her out for. They're paying her to do. That's a proper paying event.
Oh, well done to her, living the dream.
Yeah, exactly. Getting paid to do what she loves.
So let's look at ending the stream here. All these data is now live. If we go into not finished with your mummy, the formats, though it says 10, imagine it doesn't, and I'll get that fixed in a minute to say top 16. But round 10 is the formats we're playing. And guys, we'll be back next Tuesday. There'll be no feature games. And Brett and I are discussing. What's that?
I'm sure we can do something to fill like the 10-20 minute void.
Oh, what I was going to do is in that 10 minutes we may talk about what our ideas are going to be post KOTE, what we're thinking about doing. Just spitball on some ideas around. Nothing confirmed, nothing finalised, but just seeing if anyone's interested and where we're going to go next with this. All right, guys.
You've got this Flesh and Blood that's popular, SSB that we can't stop talking about. The My Hero Academia game will eventually arrive in the UK.
Yeah.
It's really annoying me, but I'll get on to that. But speaking of SSB, we're going to call the stream here, and I'm going to raid us over to the Storybook Brawl devs who are playing the new patch and talking about it. So if you've got any questions about the game, do hound Matt Nass about it, because it's just fun to watch devs sweat.
Always is. Well, thanks everyone, and good night. Speak to you next week.